Okay, happy Sunday. We are going to do a quick training today about ChatGPT and how it can help your business. And then we're going to end the recording. And then any questions that you have or whoever else has just being on this call, you'll get
Okay.
more one-on-one time, or we can work or do whatever you feel like you need. Okay, so first things first, Marissa, since you're the only one on right now, do you have the ChatGPT app downloaded to your phone?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sure do.
Do you use
Hold
it
on.
a lot?
I do. Yeah, I use it pretty often.
What kinds of things do you use it for?
Um, for my post.
Okay. I
Hold on.
can't see you. Am I supposed to be able to see you?
Yes, hold on. I'm just okay. I woke up super late and
Oh,
literally
you're
got out of
naked. Just kidding.
no, I literally I literally got out of the shower like 5 minutes before I
That's
had
okay.
to come on. So I'm about to show up. Yeah, I use it for like my posts and um pretty much, I guess that's pretty much it. I guess
Okay.
I haven't used it in a while, but are you getting at the fact that like you want it to like kind of get to know me, so to speak?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other ways that I've been learning to use it that I think like you and other people and even me just wouldn't think about unless somebody says, try this, right? So I started the same way with like using it for posting, like sharing about like this is how this is what I'm doing, spent some time talking to it, and I didn't download it until we went to the Dominican. So when I was in the airport, I like was just talking, I was like sharing my like recovery journey and sharing that, I left Beachbody and sharing the differences between Shackley and Beachbody and the financial differences and the wins that I've had and like I shared about my family and how many kids I have and being pregnant and my marriage and like all of that. So sometimes when I do sit down to have a post made, like it will throw in something that I've shared that I would have never thought of. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea, you know?
Oh.
Um, and so I have started using it for a lot of different things, posting, obviously. Can you please take her into the other room? Thank you. So, like, obviously for posts, I'll be like, help me write a post about da da da. But I think it's pretty clear when somebody's using Chat GPT. And so I will say, this sounds too automated. Please make this sound more like me. So that's the first one. Please make this sound more like me. And if you've been talking to Chat GPT, it will be like, okay, let me make this more casual. And then it'll start using my language, like my wording, my phrases. Like one time it was like, this is Liddy or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, you get me. Like, so you'll want it to sound more like you, add in your own emojis, just kind of making it more personalized that way. Or sometimes I'll just be like, okay, I like this, but I want this to be more punchy, more to the point. And then it will rewrite it. Or I'll say, I like this, but I want this to be more heartfelt. And then it will like come up with something that's a little bit more, emotional based. One thing that I've started doing that has been really helpful is even when I'm like creating reels, I'll say, I want this post or this reel to reach people who are struggling with da da da. And then it will come up with, and I'll
Oh.
say, help me with the scroll stopping caption for a reel that is like, let's say it's like me being pregnant, you know, almost to the end, still trying to walk, struggling with swollen feet. I want this to reach other pregnant women who are struggling with inflammation and foot pain and help me create like a one-liner scroll stopping caption that can go on top of my reel. Guys, for fuck's sake.
What are they doing?
Just
Being
being
in your space?
human. Yeah. Just get out. Um, anyways, so and I will say like make it scroll stopping, make it catchy, make it reach these people. Or for business posting, I'll be like,
That's a good idea. So I've never used it like that before. Like I've
then
used it
this
to
call
help
will blow
me.
your mind.
Yeah, like I've used it to help me like write posts, like my before and after post that I made, I think like last week or maybe the week
Like you
before.
put the picture in and you're like, help me write a yeah.
Yes, and like I explained like
Hmm.
I was in like the first picture, I was a new mom, like totally lost myself. Um and then I was like and then like they it wrote something up. I want to say they, like it's an actual person.
I call her she.
And then I was like, make it more relatable, make it for Facebook. But I didn't realize that you could be like, I need this to like, or I want this to reach these types of people. Like, that's really cool. I didn't realize that it did all that.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just learning about all of it, and it's been a really cool experience. One second. Okay.
I'm here,
So,
don't worry. I'm
oh
just
yeah, yep, you're fine. So,
opening shades.
so that's one thing. The other thing is like sometimes like if I'm struggling with like what do I put on top of this reel, right? Because like if you have a good reel, you don't want it to ever just not have writing on it because the writing, not the caption, the writing on the reel is what will get people to send it to their friends, right? And so sometimes I'll say, "Hey, I'm doing this trend, but I'm spinning it in a way that's like recovery or pregnancy or about business or Shackley." And then I'll say, help me come up with a one-liner that matches a video of me and my husband in the Dominican, you know, as an all, enjoying like an all-inclusive vacation because of the business that we decided to, take a chance on or something like that. Like, and it will help me create that. And then I'll be like, okay, now I like option number four. I'll say like, give me 10 options, give me 10 new ideas. And if I don't like those, I'll be like, nope, I don't like these. Spin it more this way, give me 10 new ideas. And then I'll be like, okay, I like number four. Please help me write a post about that. And so it all flows together, right?
That is so cool.
And it works really, really well, especially once you spend more time doing it because it really gets to know you and your history. Um, so so there's that. And then so like lately I've been trying to use it to come up with like um different things to help me. So like one thing I've been working on is my own social media. And like I think I really need to start incorporating more like skincare content into my posting just because I think that that's like the one thing that I'm like really loving the most about Shackley. So, um,
My skin is wild.
right?
I haven't had
Right.
to wear a full face of makeup in like 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
I'm not that I didn't notice a difference before, but I don't want this to like come off like rude, but like I didn't really have like a ton of skin issues. So
Yeah.
I wasn't noticing results like as quick. I was just happy to use something that was like non-toxic and like very
Hmm.
good for my skin. But now I'm like I have no redness. Like I don't know. The last 2 weeks I haven't worn a lick of makeup on my face, and normally I do like foundation and powder. And like I do that because I am on camera sometimes like at work, and I'm always like I can't not have makeup on, but now I'm literally putting concealer and mascara on and like that's it. And
Yeah.
I feel I feel like it looks like I have makeup on because my skin's so clear.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
obsessed.
don't even
Anyway,
wear makeup anymore. Like
I know.
sometimes I used to put like a little powder on my face, but now I'm just like I just don't. But so one idea for you specifically Um, like your target market might be more women who don't want to waste time doing like any type of like crazy skincare routine. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people who want their skin to be so clear that they feel confident without makeup. Maybe not a ton of skin issues, but really just busy like moms who don't want to take the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so one thing that you could do would be to go into Chat GPT and be like, okay, so these are the things that I've experienced on my skincare journey. You know, I didn't have a ton of skin issues, but I was struggling with a lot of redness, skin tone issues, and always felt like I had to wear a full face of makeup in order to go to work or be on Zoom meetings for work or whatever. Now I'm using a clean, non-toxic skincare line that makes me feel like I can throw on some mascara and be good for the day. Help me, or like, what are 5 pain points that I could use in my posting to reach other women who might feel the same way? So that's something that I've started doing because I had like super puffy like under eyes. I had a lot of like damage and wrinkles from just like smoking and sun damage and stuff like that. So my question was like, what are 5 pain points that I could use to reach other women who have damaged their skin and now need to heal it? Like who don't want to have to cover it with makeup, but actually want to like reverse the damage. And so, like it came up with me like, um, I've been working on this for the last couple of days, but just like, okay, my skin, like captions, my skin suddenly changed and I don't recognize it anymore. Then it talks about the pain points being like hormone shifts, postpartum, aging, and then the hook is how to like rope people in, right? So it's like, it talks about like, okay, the youth line restores this, improves firmness, texture, hydration without harsh chemicals, right? That's like the first one. The second one, I'm overwhelmed by all the products out there. I just want something clean that works. The third one, I want to age gracefully, but I don't want crazy treatments done to my face. Four, I've spent money on skincare that irritated my skin or made things worse. Number five, I'm too busy to do a 10-step skincare routine. So that's 5 different posts right there. It gives me the pain point, it gives me the hook. Once I have a photo or something to go with it, whether it's a before and after, just a picture of my face, or maybe a reel of me doing my skincare, I can say, okay, I'm doing number four, help me create a post that goes with this photo, right? And then
Hmm.
boom. So another thing that you can do is um, like you can use it for like group idea, names. So like if you're like, I want to run a free group, this is kind of what it's going to be about. Help me come up with 10 different name options for that. And you can do that until you find one that you like. But we really, as a team, including myself, need to be better about social media and using it as a marketing tool. And so a lot of times it's like we create this stuff, but you always have to ask yourself, like, if somebody else who was just like me saw this, would they send this to their friend? Or is it just a video of me and all of my writing is in the caption instead of like on the main screen, right? So always asking like, what's a scroll stopping main screen one-liner that I can put over a reel of me doing da 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 will be really helpful. Um, okay, so questions about that? No? Okay.
Um, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, I actually don't really, like, when I post, I actually don't really think that, I don't know. I guess my first thought is not like, I guess I just always assume people are going to scroll by my stuff. So I don't think like what's going to make this scroll stopping, but that's
Well,
a
and
good.
that's what we want to get away from, especially because like you're sliding into a leadership rank and and this is your starting point, not your ending point, right? So like for example, I'm just looking at your page right now.
Don't look on my page. You're going to be like, girl, you haven't posted anything in a while.
Okay, so for example, this picture, oh,
Take your blur off, girl.
it's always on. Okay, so like this one, where
Yeah.
it's like the picture of the computer screen, you're marketing busy moms, this one's for you, right? That's like your first line. Busy moms, this one's for you. But if you would have had writing on the front of this, so when somebody new comes to your page, they see this, they see your whole like outline, and on top of this one, it says busy moms make money from home. Busy working moms make money from home. Full-time working moms who make extra cash from the soccer field, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. They might be more like they're 100,000% more likely to click on that reel as
And
opposed to
just
them
a
just seeing
plain
this.
photo. Yep.
They're like they don't care.
That
It
makes
means
total
nothing to
sense.
them, right?
Right.
Um, so like another one would be like even just like this one that you did that was so creative, this mom life one. The cover photo is where I'm realizing I also need some work. So like having this photo, but like taking a second to like put writing over it. Point of view, mom life, you know,
Yeah.
Full House
Mm-hmm.
edition or something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because that I think that was the sound that you used. Um, so and it's something I'm working on too. Like I got on my one-on-one with Jamie the other day and I told her to like look at my social media. And one of the things, like, I had done this whole reel about like the purple juice and the vitamin, and she's like, but your cover photo is a cup. She's like, you have to change that. And luckily, we can change our cover photos after we post. So I went in and changed it, and my views shot up. Like, just
Oh,
changing my
really?
cover photo. Yeah, this one, I put how I keep her sickness free through the hard winter and at daycare. And then she's like, good, next time, more of a full body of you too. Like making sure that you are present in all of your cover photos is also another one, which sometimes I just do Harlem or, I mean, whatever, but like not selfies. Like taking a second and being like setting up a tripod or setting your phone on the window or telling one of your daughters, be like, take this picture of me while I'm doing my skincare. So it's like you can see yourself in the mirror and then it's like fast skincare to stop wearing makeup or something like that. Like something that is like, right?
Okay.
So then like another way that I used it recently, yesterday, was I was showing the new vitamin C. And so I just said, can you tell me what the main benefits to Shockley's new vitamin C serum are? And it came up with this long thing: enhanced brightness and glow, antioxidant protection, improved skin care, supporting the skin barrier, smoothing properties, how to apply it, da 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 da. And I said, okay, can you help me condense this into a few educational bullet points for one story slide? Um, I want this to address common skincare issues that people might be experiencing. And it came out with like dull, tired skin, worried about aging or sun damage, dealing with dry, rough texture, battling inflammation, breakouts, and sensitive skin, and then a one-liner under each bullet point of how this helps with each of those. And then I said, okay, perfect. Now can you put this all on one story slide and make sure that it has oranges in the background? And then it just created this for me.
Well, that's so cool.
Yeah, I know. And
Oh,
so, like, so it doesn't always get it right. Like, you can kind of see, like, with this one, it cut off, like, at the bottom where it says sensitive skin, there was no writing. So I kept having to redo it. And then I realized, like, ChatGPT just could not fit all five bullet points. So then last night I was talking to somebody about the vitamin C. And she was telling me that she had oily skin. So I went back into ChatGPT and I said, take out the bullet point with the dry texture, but add in the other four and make sure it has oranges in the background. and it came up with this one. And I was able to send it to her. It talked about all of her pain points, sensitive skin, inflammation, breakouts, sun damage, and dull skin. And I sent it to
Okay.
her, and it ended up being a cart last night that I sent. So,
Okay,
and I
that's
threw it up on
really
my
cool.
stories, right? So then another thing that and I'm just playing around with it, but like one of my cousins actually, I reached out to her about the reset, and to my shocking dismay, she was like, "Yeah, I'm actually interested." I was like, "Okay." And then she's like, "Oh, not in my, not in my budget or whatever," which I fully expected. And then she was like, "Right, because everybody has a budget, it's just what do they want to use it on?" So then she comes back and she's like, "Actually, does your company offer anything for hormone health? I'm perimenopausal. I'm having like violent hot flashes." And I wanted to start on some medication to help, but my insurance won't cover it. And I said, yes. And so I went into ChatGPT and I said, can you help me write up tiny little um, information? Like, or how did I word it? I was like, can you help me write up something on how Shackley's stress relief complex, metabolic boost, and glucose regulation could help somebody who's going through hormone changes due to perimenopause and having violent hot flashes. And it wrote this whole thing about hot flashes for each of the three things, and how if you're in perimenopause, like this supplement helps with this, this is why, this supplement helps with this is why. And it was all perfectly geared towards her pain point. So it wasn't just like a generic hormone health like write up. It was like, help me gear this information to somebody who's perimenopausal and experiencing these symptoms. And it was perfect. So I sent
But
it to her.
do you scan the product into Chat GPT?
No.
So
Chat
you just
GPT just scans the web for you. So I just say, tell, like, help me write paragraphs about Shackley's stress relief complex, glucose regulation, and metabolic boost, and how they could help somebody who's perimenopausal. Boom, types it up. Yeah. And then she said, what about probiotics? I just finished my last one. And I said, so then I said to ChatGPT, I said, what are all of Shackley's probiotic options? And it came up with like five, like Optiflora DI, Good Gut and Go, like all of the different ones.
what are you doing?
And I
Okay,
and I
sorry.
said, now which of these five would be most beneficial if somebody is struggling with perimenopause and violent hot flashes and night sweats? And it was like, out of all of these, this is the most beneficial probiotic for somebody who is struggling with this because of this. And I just copied and pasted it and sent it to her. She was like, okay, perfect. Put all of that in a cart and I'll buy it when I get paid on the 6th. It was like, because I would always be like, you guys help. Does anyone know about this? Does anyone know about that? And I've learned so much just educating myself using ChatGPT about like, what is the best product that we have for this? And it just tells you.
That's yeah, that I wow. I'm like floored right now.
Yeah. And like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like when I'm like talking into my phone, the letters are messed up, my language isn't coming out clear, and it still figures it out. Like it spells
It's
Shackley Shackley, but it still figures out Shackley from the internet, knows that I'm in a Shackley business, like knows all of our products.
I feel
It's
like Chat GPT is like the computer version of Heather. Because Heather knows like so much about like
Yeah, anytime I have
the
a question,
products and stuff.
is there this in this? Is this helpful with this? Right? Because then it eliminates opinion and you know, it becomes this objective form of marketing. And
Hmm.
since I have like I started doing this last month and my sales were 7,500. So I hit 35%, which I've never done before. And I think it's like it really is helpful with like locking in those sales or just being like, hey, like when I was like copy and paste that person's answer to me, like, and then I will say to Chat GPT, I'll say, hey, I am talking to this person about the Shackley 5-day reset, and this is the objection they gave me. Can you help me respond? And it
Okay.
will just respond for you. And then if I like it, I'll be like, okay, this is great, thank you. Or this is too scientific. Can you please break this down to be more casual? Or if it's somebody who wants the science and has a lot of like questions about their health, their doctor, like different organs, how things work, I'll be like, okay, take this casual response, but put in the science that backs the answer. And it will come up with this whole, so like I have a whole folder of Vivix, like help me send a message to this person struggling with joint pain and how Vivix will help with joint pain. Okay, help me with how Vivix will help with inflammation caused by arthritis or pregnancy or whatever, and it will just come up with different ones and it gears it towards the pain point. And that's what I think like as a team we need to get better at is talking to people about their pain point instead of having these copy paste answers that are just, well, it worked for this person, but their pain point was different. So it's not hitting the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm so excited to spend more time with Chat GPT.
Yeah. And never settle for anything that's like doesn't feel genuine, right? Because you don't want to turn into a robot. People will know. You want to be like, this doesn't sound like me. I want this to be more casual. I
Yes,
want
yeah,
this to
I
reach
I do
more,
that. Yep,
yeah.
I do that. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Aaron, can you put the cinnamon buns in when the oven's preheated? Are you listening to me? Okay. Okay. Dad can handle cooking the cinnamon buns. I just know it. Oh my God, sorry. We're
no,
getting
no
ready to
problem.
leave in like an hour, but I was like, I'm getting on. I've got to get on. Hold on. Now I got to tell my oldest,
No,
Aria, you
it's
have an
fine because
hour
I gotta
until
go to
we
the
leave.
bathroom really quick. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Okay. Um, the other thing too, before we just talk about what you need for quals and how we're gonna get you there before midnight, is sometimes if I'm just like, hey, I want to do like a quick customer appreciation promo this weekend, I'll say something like, I don't want it to sound desperate. I don't want it to be in a way that comes across like I need the sales. I fully
Hmm.
want this graphic to show that this is for the customers out of appreciation as a way to give back and help me create a graphic that I can throw on my stories. And I specify stories versus feed.
Yep.
Something I can throw on my stories that shows this. And I'll be like, make it sparkly, make it bright colored, make it fun, and then it just comes up with stuff. So I did one for Memorial Day and it came up with like this, oh, freaking blur. Like
Oh, okay. So I thought you were using
this one,
what's the other thing?
Canva.
Yeah, and I Canva is too confusing for
No,
me.
I literally like the only thing that I think ChatGPT really struggles with is like when I say use this photo or add this photo into this graphic, it just can't. Like it literally, I'll show you because I was doing one for me and Derek doing the 5 day group, and I was like,
Hmm.
please, please create a Brooks Bash like birthday edition and use this photo of me and Derek and look what it put on there. This was the photo I said. And I was like, who are those people? So then I'm like, just recreate and take the photo out. I'm like, okay, that is so now it just looks like this. But if I want to take this and save it to my camera, then upload it to Canva and upload the photo on top of it, I can.
Right, right,
So,
right.
right. So it's really helpful if it's not like if it doesn't need to like nail your photo, like that.
Okay.
Um, okay. Questions about ChatGPT.
No, I am just like so excited to just like dive into it now,
I
like
know.
more than I was using it before.
And I would even like while you're driving or wherever you go today, I would just take a few minutes and talk to it and be like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm about to hit this major leadership qualification and I'm going to be posting about it once I hit it. So I wanted to spend some time sharing with you about all of the things that I needed to do." And instead of focusing on like sales and numbers, you could say, I had to create a work schedule that worked for me. It was
Yep.
a major trial and error over the last few months to find pockets of time versus, morning or nighttime work hours, organizing my schedule, figuring it out between, soccer practice, between drop-offs, between full-time working mom, between marriage, like all of that stuff. Um, it took talking about my business. It took sharing on social media, all of that stuff, and be like, I want to share about this leadership rank, and I want this post to hit women I want this post to reach women who are thinking that they could never do something like this, right? Like thinking that it might be a little bit of supplemental income here and there, but nothing crazy, you know? And talk about like, I didn't believe in myself for a long time. I did a different business for a long time. And, you know, just like whatever's from your heart. And then just be like, help me create a couple of posts that I can share over the next week once I hit this rank.
Okay.
Because you are going to hit it. And not only are you going to hit it, but you're going to double hit.
God.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording here so that we can just chat.